And thank you so much for joining us for this King 5 digital special. I'm Madison Wade. Today, Alaska Airlines is launching non-stop flights to Rome from Seattle. The flights are on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner featuring lie flat seats, upgraded dining, and premium amenities as well. This is part of a big international expansion for Alaska. Again, the inaugural flight is set to take off in just hours. The airline will launch non-stop service to London Heathrow and Reykjavik, Iceland next month as well. We have a crew there at SeaTac Airport. We will bring you a live look as soon as our cameras are up. There will be a big celebration happening at the gate. Here's a live look right now at that celebration that will get underway here shortly. You can see a lot of reporters are there, as well as people who are taking this flight. We know there is one Seattle restaurateur who's there, Vince. We spoke with him last week, so we'll hopefully be able to chat with him again, as many people are excited to board this flight and get going. This is again on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, a beautiful plane that holds many seats inside, more than 200 seats. And Alaska will hold a news conference to celebrate this milestone. We're expected to hear from the CEO as well. So as we wait for that news conference to begin, earlier today I spoke with our King 5 aviation expert and former Air Force and Alaska Airlines pilot, John Nance, about his take on this historic milestone. Here's our interview. Here with me is John Nance, aviation expert and also former Alaska pilot himself. John, thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
And John, Alaska Airlines is celebrating its first ever non-stop flight to Rome, but it comes just days after reporting a $193 million quarterly loss. So what does that contrast tell you about where the airline industry is right now?
Well, the airline industry actually is where it has always been. A lot of ups and a lot of downs. And the people who play the game for the long term, down the road, are the ones that win. That's what Alaska has been doing for some time. I'm, of course, a retired Alaska captain, as you said, and so I'm a little bit prejudiced. But by the same token, I watch the whole industry, and this is the way it should be done.
And John, what will this new route mean, not only for travelers out of SeaTac Airport, but also for the Seattle economy?
Well, the Seattle economy is going to be increasingly basically based on, to a certain extent, tourism and the influx in and out, and making this a major international hub even more than it is today is certainly going to help everybody. And first of all, just the convenience for the traveler, being able to get on an airplane here and get off in Rome, or later on down to Seoul, Korea, and further on. This was what Alaska got for themselves when they bought Hawaiian Airlines, but instead of just slamming everything together, they did a really good job of taking the long game and being very careful with how they put it together.
And we know right now the fuel prices are causing a disruption in the airline industry, increasing prices for many consumers as well. So how risky is it right now to, include this inaugural flight that is nonstop, but also given the fuel prices and the volatility we're seeing there right now too?
Well, the volatility in fuel, you got to consider this is along with long-term fuel contracts. 30 years ago, the industry found that very non-standard, but now it's standard, and certainly Alaska plays that very well. So there are going to be ups and downs, and yes, if they stay up too far, that's going to hurt not only the bottom line, but also the calculation on whether or not a particular route should be serviced. And that always is a matter of constant recalculation on the part of every airline, certainly Alaska too, with this particular expansion. By the same token, we are outproducing the demand in the United States, so the prospect of running shy on the physical stocks of jet fuel is probably pretty low. The prices, yes, they're going to fluctuate and they're going to damage the profit margin, but not catastrophically.
That's good to hear. Well, tell us more too, John, about some of the airlines' challenges that they're facing right now. Why have they been hit so hard with this conflict in Iran?
Well, the conflict in Iran is basically, it demonstrates how much of a global society we have become. One particular choke point, the Strait of Hormuz, can hold up hundreds of tankers and change the equation for fuel supply, to the point that in Europe and in England right now there are great concerns over literally running out of jet fuel in the near future in certain stations. Here we're not going to run out of it, but the prices are going to be all over the map for a while, in my view. And I think what we're going to see there is surcharges on the cost of air transportation. And it's not going to be just one airline doing it. It's going to be a lot of.
And we're seeing, too, Delta launching their first inaugural flight from SeaTac to Rome in just a couple weeks in May. What does that tell you about the competitiveness of our airline industry, trying to make sure that there is options for travelers, too?
Well, it's hotly competitive in so many different ways, and I think most people in the Seattle area know that around 10 or 15 years ago, Delta squared off against Alaska and was unsuccessful in trying to kind of suborn their market. This is healthy competition, and the question is, are there that many people that want to go nonstop between Rome and Seattle? I think there are, and I think Alaska's bet on that too, as is Delta.
John Nance, our aviation expert, thank you so much for providing some context here as we're seeing this first flight leave SeaTac today, bound for Rome.
Thank you.
As Alaska officially launches that nonstop service to Rome, one local restaurateur says it's more than just a new travel option. His name is Vince Matola. He owns 3 Vince Italian restaurant locations in Renton, Burien, and Federal Way. His parents immigrated from Italy and built a decades-long restaurant legacy in the Puget Sound region. It's why he says he made sure to purchase a ticket on Alaska's inaugural Rome flight. He says the journey is deeply personal. It's a full-circle moment, reflecting on his parents' 8-day voyage from Naples to New York City before eventually settling in Seattle.
They came over in 1954, shortly after they were married. I think about them a lot, and with this milestone inaugural flight, I've been thinking of them even more often, and I'm so excited to go next week.
Alaska Airlines does face headwinds, though. Jet fuel prices surged to record highs this month, and the competitor, Delta Airlines, will launch its own nonstop flight from Seattle to Rome about a week later. A lot of people are there at SeaTac right now getting ready to board this flight, and the celebration is just getting underway. We will bring that to you live the moment that it begins from SeaTac. And this also means, we're talking about the jet fuel prices increasing. This also means airfares are climbing. There's no relief in sight right now. Alaska reported a $193 million quarterly loss as the war with Iran drives those jet fuel prices higher. So it's not just Alaska. Cost pressures are building across the airline industry. King 5 Sebastian Robertson reports.
Finding the perfect flight at the perfect price isn't as easy as it used to be.
Since the prices are fluctuating so much, our price and our round trip costed like $600. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy because that's a time difference of like maybe 24 hours.
Seattle-based Alaska Airlines on an earnings call this morning reported a $193 million quarterly loss, driven largely by rising fuel costs. At some point during the fighting in Iran, oil prices jumped to more than $100 a barrel. It's come down some, but the closure of the Strait of Hormuz has kept prices high.
That's the largest expense of the airline industry is jet fuel. And if you don't react rapidly, you're going to end up sinking not only your expectations for profit, but also putting yourself in a corner vis-a-vis the other airlines.
Even with ticket prices rising, airlines say the demand remains strong, with planes still full, as more of those higher fuel costs get passed on to customers through baggage fees and higher fares.
But I think the thing is, we're looking at a situation now that is so chaotic and so unfocused, and quite frankly, in my view, so unnecessary, that we don't know where the prices are going to go, not only per barrel of oil, but in terms of the overall cost of a gallon of jet fuel.
This isn't just Alaska. Major carriers like Delta, United, American are all reporting similar cost pressures. Some travelers say at a certain point they just won't fly.
If there's a need, you got to go. But right now, we choose not to go probably too far, too much.
And now it kind of feels like I have to hunt for a good ticket, opposed to just being able to purchase a ticket that's a reasonably priced ticket.
Leaving others to make tough trade-offs.
As a student, I not only just work and just also go to school full time. It's hard to, keep myself in a budget and try to fit in all those stereotype American dream stuff when everything is getting so expensive and I can't even afford sometimes to if I get groceries, I probably won't afford rent,
And that was Sebastian Robertson reporting. We're taking a live look now at SeaTac Airport as the inaugural flight from Seattle to Rome is set to take off in just a few hours here. A live event will be happening, a news conference with CEO Ben Micucci as well as the consulate from Italy, and we'll have some more remarks from our port of Seattle as well. This event is set to start any moment now, so the moment it does, we'll bring you that live. We also want to say that the flight will be landing and taking off rather at 5:30 p.m. It will be landing at 1:15 p.m. local time in Italy. So that will give people who are on this flight a lot of time to grab some lunch, and they're not starting their day later in the evening. They will have a full afternoon to explore Rome, and then some of the people on this flight will return on the next flight back to Seattle. So there are a lot of people who are booked onto this flight right now. We do know there will be a water salute happening over the Dreamliner that will be taking place on the tarmac outside of SeaTac Airport. So again, this is a live look right now at Alaska Airlines as they start their inaugural flight in nonstop service from Seattle to Rome. We'll listen in the moment that this event begins. This is a really historic day for the airline. We do know as well that Delta, their competitor, will start their own nonstop flights from Seattle to Rome on May 6th, which is just a few weeks away. We spoke with John Nance earlier today about the competitiveness and having options for travelers, as well as we're seeing the jet fuel prices increase, which is keeping the competitiveness very fair for a lot of consumers as people need options as they want to travel to Europe and Italy as well. Right now, there are people who are gathering here at the airport to have this news conference start here at any moment. We know that the Alaska Airlines CEO is there as well. He will be the first to speak. He is from Italy himself, so this also means a lot to him. Earlier today, we were seeing more reports from Alaska Airlines, specifically talking about from the CEO launching our first flight to Europe. He says it's a significant step in executing our long-term growth strategy. Service to Rome expands how we connect our guests to the world, he said. We will listen here into this news conference now.
All right. Good afternoon, maybe. There you go. It's already on. Is it already on? Can you guys hear me okay? No? Can't hear me? Bueller. I don't do that. There we go. There it is. There it is. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? My name is Everett Fitzhugh. I'm going to be hanging out with you guys today, and I would like to take this time to welcome each and every one of you, all of our dignitaries, all of our guests, all of our employees here to the inaugural flights on Alaska Airlines from Seattle to Rome, Italy. Not only is this our first flight with Alaska Airlines, this is the first ever non-stop flight out of Seattle that will connect Seattle to Rome. So I'm going to introduce Alaska Airlines CEO Ben Minicucci to come up here in a second. I did this event with you guys a couple of days ago, and the passion and the joy and the excitement that he had as a person with Italian background to now be at the helm of a company 22 plus years, that is now the first airline to fly direct from Seattle to Rome. But before I do, yesterday, our fearless leader celebrated a birthday. So last week, the honorary consulate from Italy, Isabetta, who was here, I had the wonderful honor of serenading her and the rest of the crowd with happy birthday. And I feel like it would only be right, as the CEO of Alaska Airlines, who was about to go to Rome, Italy, if we all sang happy birthday to Ben here this afternoon. Ben, can I have you come up here? Come on. He said I could do this, by the way. Okay. On the count of three, let's just sing happy birthday to Ben and send him off to Italy on a high note, all right? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ben. Happy birthday to you. I will be getting an email first thing tomorrow morning about that. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of Alaska Airlines, Ben Minicucci.
Yeah, Everett, I said you couldn't do that. Okay, buongiorno. Say it with me together. Buongiorno. Very easy. I can't tell you how my emotions today are just all over the map. I'm so excited today. I've been dreaming about this day for a long time. I can't believe it's happening. I feel like I have to pinch myself throughout the day, but this is really a dream come true. I think Everett said it. So my parents were born in Italy, about 250 kilometers, a little southeast of Rome, in a small little village. And my parents were poor, and that's why they left Italy. And to think that and I have my family here, by the way. I got both my brothers, their wives, my son, my niece, my beautiful partner there. They're going to be with me. And it's such an honor for us. It's emotional because I wish my father's not alive, my mom is sick right now, but I wish they could actually see what's happened in one generation. It's just moving for me. The one thing about aviation is that we don't only connect people, but we connect commerce. This flight is amazing because, I'll give you a little fact that, and I just confirmed, it's not just a place where we bring people to Rome, but we're also going to connect two cities and create good commerce. And do you know that if people are going to Italy with me on this plane, or for people that are going to be in restaurants, that we have 3,000 pounds of Seattle clams flying with us to Rome. So you can imagine king salmon, all the fish that's going to be going there. It's just a fantastic way to connect both cities. So we've been on a path to make Alaska a premium global airline, and this is one of many new destinations. So we're flying to Tokyo and Seoul. It's Rome. We launch London in 3 weeks, and then Iceland. And I'm looking at our head of network because I want to blab all the other places that I want to go to. She's shaking her head. Don't say it, man. But there's many more international destinations, at least 12. You're going to be flying on a beautiful Boeing 787, and we have 6 today. We're going to have 17 Boeing 787s in our fleet that are going to take us globally around the world. And we want to make sure that we are the airline that takes Seattle, that brings Seattle to the world. So I just want to say thank you for people that have supported Alaska over the last few years. For people who've been with us a long time, you know that we were just started as a small airline. I joined the company 22 years ago in maintenance, and now we are the 5th largest airline in the country and the 15th largest airline in the world, which is a remarkable thing. Before I hand it over to Ryan from the Port of Seattle, I want to thank some special people. And these special people are what make Alaska special. And these are our employees, our pilots, our flight attendants, our customer service agents, our people in reservations, our dispatchers, our maintenance technicians, everyone, our phenomenal management and leadership team. Our employees love our company, and the culture we have, if you love the culture and you love our company, it's because we live our values. And it's It's what I preach all the time, and it's 4 basic values: own safety, do the right thing, be caring and kind, and deliver performance. And I'm so proud of our people for doing that every day and what makes Alaska special. So thank you very much, and I want to invite, or am I giving it back to you, Everett? No, you know what, you come back. You do it better than me. All right, Everett, thank you so much.
Thank you for those wonderful words, Ben. And now I'd like to welcome from the Port Authority, Mr. Ryan Culkins.
Good afternoon, everybody, and grazie mille to Ben for all that you've done to make this possible. As the Commission President of the Port of Seattle, I first want to recognize Sam Cho, my fellow commissioner, and Wendy Ryder, who is here somewhere. There she is back there, always hiding, but really, in fact, doing all the hard work. She's the new managing director of SEA here. This is an extraordinary moment for us, and there's some stuff that I want to make sure I get out, but in particular, I just want to particularly say thank you to Alaska for helping to establish SEA as a premier international gateway. Sam and I and our fellow commissioners have been in communication with Alaska for years about what we can do to ensure that Alaska, as it continues to grow and build as an international presence, has the facility here at SEA that it needs, so that when folks come to Seattle, they feel like they're stepping into a really special place. I also want to acknowledge that this route in particular is pretty special. I don't think a lot of people think about the fact that the Pacific Northwest and Italy have a ton in common. We may not be as fashionable here in the Pacific Northwest, but we have a love of the outdoors. We have a culinary tradition. We have a sense of family and connection and culture that is really shared across these two places. But when you have to make a stopover, it sort of arrests that connection. And so what this means for us today is that we're going to have a direct route. And I can speak to that personally because for 10 years, from 2006 to 2016, every September I would fly to Rome through some other European airport and deal with tons of layovers and all that stuff. And now knowing that there is a direct connection between these two beloved places for me, we really owe you a lot, Ben, for making this a particularly important route for you. I also want to acknowledge that we're at about 1 year from the first international flight, the Tokyo Narita flight, which we were standing right here to inaugurate last year. And it just shows how Alaska is continuing to develop this international presence. The merger with Hawaiian, obviously, is a huge deal for expanding the capacity of the fleet to do so. And we are thrilled at SEA right now to offer 58 services to 36 international destinations on 29 different airlines. Alaska Airlines Rome destination launching now in 2026, and later this year with services to London and Reykjavik. I think I can speak for all of Seattle in saying we are really eager to see where Alaska Airlines intends to go next. This growth in international services is accommodated by the fact, and I hope you've all experienced this, we've opened 2 big new security checkpoints. I hope when you came in here today, you just flew through. I know in my experience in traveling over the last few months, it has really been a smooth sailing. Thank you to Wendy and her extraordinary team for making that happen in spite of a government shutdown that has really constrained our TSOs at the Transportation Safety Administration. We are truly thankful for all the work that they are doing to keep things flowing through the airport quickly. And let me just wrap up by saying this is truly a day of celebration for Alaska Airlines, for SEA, and once again, grazie mille to Ben and his team.
All right, we're going to have a ceremonial ribbon cutting, so I'd like to invite Ben and Ryan back up here, along with Kirsten from Alaska Airlines as well, and Jake, I believe. Ryan and Kirsten, pardon me. And we'll have you guys in front. We'll give you the scissors, Ben.
And with that, in just a few short hours, the first flight from SeaTac to Rome will take off from the tarmac at SeaTac International Airport. Thank you so much for watching this King 5 digital streaming special. We'll have much more for you when we return at 4 p.m. right here, also on our King 5 Plus app. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.